The very first time I met my best friend, he ruined my entire life. How did this happen, you may wonder? What happened that made my life go from to in a moment? Well, let me explain what happened. This man, beautiful black man that he is. First time I ever met him, I was at a bar called the Ottawa Tavern. It's in Ohio. He said, hey, approached my car. Barely knew me. He had seen me online a few times, and he recognized me from my hair. He said, hey, I got a question for you. Do you want to make a road trip? And I said, do you want me to drop you off at your house? I'm thinking of something regular, something easy, nothing insane. By the way, this is my first time meeting him. I want to express this deeply. He said, I have a concert in North Carolina. You want to drive me there? I said, when? He said, well, my concert's in 3 days. Would you like to drive me there now? I looked at him deep in his eyes. And like the reasonable, responsible adult, I said, of course I would. And he hopped in the car. I want to point this out. I had work the next day. I didn't know how far North Carolina was. And I barely knew this man. Ever so barely. I did not know anything about him. I didn't know his lore. I didn't know his Carfax. I had no idea who this human, what he was. I didn't know. So what I did, we drove. He pulled up the location on Google Maps and plugged in on my Apple CarPlay and said, hey, you mind if I play some music? I said, play what you want. Now, if you are just meeting a person and you're driving them to the show, right? If you're driving them to the show, what do you think? What do you think? I thought he was doing comedy. I didn't know what he was doing. He didn't explain what show he had. He was a musical artist. So he played his music for the entire 20-hour ride. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, that must have sucked. He must be a horror music artist. Actually, it was actually really good. I was impressed. I was head over heels for it. I was like, whoa, this is quite good. He said, yeah, this is, I'm going to be performing this for a bunch of people. He had been expressing that it was sold out show. Many people were going to be there. So that's my mind process going into this. A packed crowd, Live Aid, big people, Lollapalooza. I'm thinking Burning Man numbers. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm excited. I get to see a bunch of people. I get to dance a little bit to this good music. Plays it 20 hours straight, all different songs. Super excited. His discography is amazing. His repertoire is unique. And he's speaking to me about his trauma, about everything in his life. I'm learning about his taste in women. I bond with this man. We're having a great time. And he did not pay for the tolls. At all. Mind you, my car was not ready for this adventure. As a matter of fact, I'm surprised my car made it. I really am. I had a 1998 Buick Century. I was not ready for this. That's the last Century. I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for any of that. So, what happens there? What happens next, you might ask? Well. I then proceed to notice that I'm running low on funds. I have $45. Now, if you're smart, you know that a Buick Century on $45 of gas is not making it from Ohio to North Carolina. So, we got on the side of the road and panhandled for money. Yes, that sucked. And then he said, wait, I have a better idea. After 2 hours of panhandling, he said, I can just cash app myself some money. I said, you're going to cash app yourself some money. You have a weird situation with PayPal. Don't worry about it. And lo and behold, he got me gas money. A little bit of it. Not much, but it was enough to get us to North Carolina. And I had $37 at this point in time. 37. So, what happens next? We get there, North Carolina, and we're at some girl's house. I'm a little bit confused. Is this the concert? He said, no, this is where we're going to be staying tonight. Don't worry. We're going to hang out with her, and then we'll be fine. I said, okay, cool. She must be a reputable person. She's a college student, and she gets us inside the house. And lo and behold, I have no place to sleep. No couch, nothing. No carpet either. It was hardwood floors. No pillows. So I did what any reasonable person would do and slept in my car. I can hear through the window upstairs that he is going gobble mode inside of those ovarian canals. Bang, 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 bang. The whole neighborhood can hear him. It was nuts. I was like, oh, gee willikers, what is happening? Sounds like gun violence up there. And then I can hear him say, yeah! I'm a little bit confused. Ric Flair's in the building? That's crazy. Woo! I'm scared. And then, after a remarkable silence, I go back in because I need to get some water. She comes downstairs and offers me the craziest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. This is just an insane offer. She says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot you were here. Did you want to join?" I said, I perhaps would not like to with a man I just met. I think that's weird. He said, "Oh, he told me you were best friends." And that is an issue between men, I think, where we meet somebody for the matter of 10 minutes and we're locked in, best friends for life, with no words sometimes. And I said, "Oh, sorry, yeah, we are best friends." She was even more confused, as was I, but I had to agree to the statement because I was 20 hours away from a home with a man I barely knew. Never do this, by the way. So, I sleep in my car. Reject the offer. Next day, 6 a.m. sharp. "Hey, man, we gotta go. Concerts today." "Okay. Alright, where are we going?" "South Carolina." "Oh, how far of a drive is that?" "Don't worry, it's only 8 hours. If we drive right now, we should make it there soon." I didn't eat breakfast. I'm starving. So I say, "Fine, let's go drive there. Whatever." He then proceeds to say, "Alright, cool, we got it. Do you want to drive?" I say, "No." He brings the girl with him. The girl drives my car. I don't know this one, by the way, but she drives it. Great driver, by the way. I slept in the back seat, got some rest in. I'm rejuvenated. I'm starving. I had sleep as a meal. I'm great. Life is amazing. I'm malnourished. I feel like an African child. Everything's great. And then we stop at a side town to do some shopping. How are we doing shopping? How are we doing the shopping? How do you have money, Dorian? How do you have money? How? He said, "Oh, well, I just have it." Okay, cool. And he did. He had it on him. I'm not gonna hold him. He had great money. He's a good dude. Anyways, after that whole debacle, after that whole thing, we finally arrive at the location. Now I'm expecting a concert hall. I'm expecting grandiose, gravitas. I'm expecting the world. Upon driving this far, you ever see Courage the Cowardly Dog? You know that middle of nowhere house? That's where it was at. It was in the middle of nowhere. It was in the middle of a field with a building in the middle of it. I had to drive through rock and gravel on tires that were not prepared for that. And I was a little bit concerned. I said, "This is where the location is? This is where you meet your people? This is it?" He says, "Yes." I say, "Oh, well, I'll be a monkey's uncle." And we go into the main floor and it dips down into a basement. And there are 13 people. 13. It's not even the age of consent. 13? What? There are 13 people here? He says, "Yeah, don't worry. More people will show up." I said, "Okay." As soon as he said that, the promoter comes and said, "Hey, you're on." What? I imagine people will crowd in as they come in. Nope. As a matter of fact, people left as soon as he went on. I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. I needed an explanation. I needed something from this. I didn't even dance to the music because I was so tired from driving. He says, "Oh, this is probably one of those things where they get a bunch of rappers from a bunch of different states to come out to hype up their new rapper. I thought I had a chance at a record deal." Sorry, I was angry. Anyways, I was hurt, upset. Obviously, I didn't know what to feel. Well, fair. So, now, how did he ruin my life, you might ask? Well, I lost my job for one. I lost my job. That's my fault. That's my fault. That's not even his fault. This is how you ruin my life. My sleep schedule ever since that day was forever affected. And I don't mean it's an easy fix like I could take a nap one day and maybe rest for 20 hours. No, I was scared of not sleeping in my car because of the noises he made during coitus. I have forever been affected by this, and I think about it a lot. So, now driving back. Well, we drove back, obviously. This concert started at 8 o'clock, and he stayed there till midnight. How far was the drive back? 4 hours. To get to a Holiday Inn, in which I wasn't allowed to sleep in the Holiday Inn because they got a 1-bedroom, and they were going to do adult things in there. I also would like to point out, if you've ever driven through North or South Carolina through the back roads, There is nothing. There are deer everywhere. There are nothing but trees and a lot of dirt roads. I don't like Carolina. I don't like north or south of it. I don't like any part of Carolina. I don't. I hate every minute of it. I hated every second of what happened there. I despised it. But after this, and me sleeping in my car again, we drove back. I got some Bojangles. And I hate Bojangles, by the way. I don't know why that's a restaurant. I got some sweet tea and some sandwich, I believe. I don't remember. But what I do remember is how I felt. Betrayed, defeated, and lied to. I then got a speeding ticket for going 35 and a 30. And I never paid it. And I never will. Because that speeding ticket was in Maryland. They will never get my money. I don't like you, Maryland. Anyways, I get back home. And I sit down inside of my house, and I cried for 3 hours because I had wasted so much time. It was a fun experience, and it bonded us closer. We trauma bonded through driving, and that was amazing. He ruined my life, but he also improved it. And to my best friend, thank you.